All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome all to this webinar. This is the PABRA Steering Committee meeting. I'm glad to see most of you already on. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation to this wonderful day. We have partners from various networks in East Africa, in West Africa, in Southern Africa joining us this morning, as well as our donors from the various places. I can see Kelly already on the line. Welcome. And SDC representatives, as well as USAID and Bill and Melinda Gates joining us shortly. So without further ado, I would like us to just start our meeting today. The PABRA Steering Committee meeting starts today on the 21st of April up to Friday. And our theme these 3 days is going to be harnessing the power of bean research to achieve inclusive economic development. So we have a couple of objectives that we are going to share this morning. And one of them is to update on the bean research development in Tanzania and across PABRA member countries. We are also going to share insights on enabling environments and effective partnerships for wider utilization of bean research products, as well as how these products can catalyze private sector investments and the benefits of inclusive bean value chains, and as well to discuss how best we can strengthen the PABRA model that is impacting other commodity or other crops, or how can we apply the PABRA model into other crops in the value chain. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mary Modaki. Mary is our partner from Tanzania, and she will be moderating our first session on the opening remarks. But before Mary can go, just a couple of housekeeping rules. We are all muted, so kindly, if you're not speaking, let's have all our microphones off so that it doesn't interfere with the other presenters. And also we'll have a 5 minutes break that will enable us just stretch a bit as we continue with the session this morning and afternoon, early afternoon. And also I would urge us that as the presenters come in, may we have our videos on as we do our introductions and our presentations. Thank you so much, and over to you, Mary. Welcome.
Thank you, Patricia. Good morning to you all, and welcome to our day 1 of 3 days of PABRA Steering Committee. And we are going to start with the opening session. Remember, it's only 5 minutes. To start with, I would like to welcome Dr. Rose Mongi, Bean Program Coordinator, TARI. Welcome, Dr. Rosie.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rose.
Yes. I'm going to give the opening remarks, and my name is Rose Mongi, as the session facilitator has already said. And I would like to start off to you, Honorable Minister of Agriculture in Tanzania, Director General, Tanzania Agricultural Research Institute, Developing Partners, GAC, SDC, African Development Bank, ACIR, ASARECA, CORAF, CORAF, CCAR, CDESA, USAID, and to you, Managing Director, Alliance of Biodiversity International and SIAT, Director, Pan-African Bean Alliance, Coordinator, East and Central African Bean Research Network, coordinator, Southern Africa Bean Research Network, chairperson who is representing other chairpersons in the network and the other networks, ECABREN, Center Director Tariuyole, Bean Research Team in Tanzania, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you all once again. And I will be giving the welcome remarks today, today's meeting, and kick off the 3 days program starting from today. We are proud that Tanzania is hosting the 2021 PABRA Steering Committee, and I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for joining this meeting taking place in a digital platform due to COVID-19, which is roaming around the world. The theme of the conference has already been mentioned, but I will repeat it again, is harnessing the power of bean research to achieve economic growth. We have presenters across the bean value chain to share results, experience, and knowledge with the rest of us. What I love the most is our mutual passion in boosting bean production, sales, and improved livelihoods, not only in Tanzania, but Africa as a whole. I'm encouraging all delegates, please, to participate with an increasing number to all discussions so that we can all benefit. I believe you will hear a lot, meet new friends, though online, and meeting new people, though online, and making friends along the way. And what I can say that we love and cherish you all. I would like to conclude my opening remarks by wishing every one of you a successful and fruitful meeting. We love you all and warm welcome to Tanzania. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rosie. Now it's time to welcome ECABREN chairperson on behalf of other networks chairpersons, Anwariti Uwera. Welcome, Anwariti.
Thank you so much. My name is Anwariti Uwera. I work for Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Development Boards. To this meeting, I'm representing other chairperson of the 3 networks of PABRA, which are ECABREN, SABREN, and WECABREN. Dear Honorable Minister of Agriculture in Tanzania, different donors, directors, coordinators, scientists and researchers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's with pleasure that on behalf of other chairperson of the 3 networks of PABRA, that I would like to give my open speech on this meeting, which I would like to emphasize on the good things that PABRA offers to us as the 3 networks. And I would like to talk a bit about the PABRA works, where it brings together and supports the 3 networks and supports the 3 networks in different fields of research and technology transfer, which ended up being useful to our countries, agriculture sectors, and change farmers and other people's life. On research side, PABRA contributes a lot. Firstly, it contributes to capacity building by offering to scientists from the 3 networks short and long-term trainings, and it's in different areas. PABRA contributes to variety development by supporting variety development, where PABRA facilitates the 3 networks to develop new varieties and exchange germ plasm. Again, PABRA contributes to strengthen the technology transfer by supporting scientists and researchers to take the technologies to the farmers and other partners. Also, PABRA build and strengthen the bean value chain in different PABRA partner countries. Really, PABRA is doing a lot, has been doing a lot, and it also continues to do a lot within these networks. Now, I would like to appreciate what PABRA is doing. I would like to appreciate what the donors are doing by funding different projects through PABRA. Thank you, PABRA, for being very useful to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Anoriti. Now it's time for ECA Brand Coordinator, Dr. Teshale Mamo Asefa.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. My name is Teshale Mamo. I'm ECA Brand Coordinator. Dear Minister of Agriculture of Tanzania, Director of Tanzanian Agricultural Research Institute, dear donors, all researchers and partners. It is my privilege and pleasure on behalf of East and Central African Bean Research Network member countries and partners to welcome you to this PABRA Steering Committee meeting. This meeting is being held during COVID-19 time, and there have been some challenges. However, we have been achieved together in the past 1 year of this pandemic time of the benefits of good science for real development, of the value of partnership. Above all, the impact on hundreds of thousands lives in Africa. This meeting also provides us to be an opportunity for reflection upon what we still need to do, what we could offer to others by way of examples and lessons, and in what way we need to change to achieve new objectives. I sincerely hope you will enjoy today and the next 2 days of this meeting. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, Teshale. Now it's time for Pan-African Bean Research Alliance, Director Jean-Claude Rubio. Welcome.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Mary. Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon, because you have some people probably in the part of the other side of the world. Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Professor Adolphe Mukendi, Director of TARI, Dr. Godfrey Mukamiro, member of the PABRA funding community, the Director of Alliance Africa, representative of various donors also who are present. We're talking about ICR represented by Eric, who is in Canberra. We're talking about SDC represented by Michelle and Peter, who is based in Dar es Salaam. Michelle is based in Bern. We also have GAG represented by Kelly and Chris in Dar es Salaam. We also have regional partners like Asareka and other regional, sub-regional organization, CADESA and CORAF. We also have the chairperson and other of the 3 networks as well, the 3 chairperson represented by WERA, but also they are present. Members of the PABRA scientific community from CIAT, from national programs, private sector, farmers as well. So welcome to these discussions. It's a pleasure for us to be with you. Also for you to participate, for us to participate in this meeting. It has not been easy because last year we were not able to have a meeting due to COVID situation. So we escaped last year, but we had a webinar which was held to illustrate what is happening in Zambia, to keep connected with the various members of PABRA, which was very good, but not really. So the work plans and budget were approved through interactions and online. So this is again after 2 years of the devastating pandemic we are going through. Yes, so as Patricia indicated, this will give us an opportunity to update each other where we are, innovations we have and how they are transforming people, as Teshari indicated, get insight and lesson learned on how these lessons can be scaled up as well. Also, we also have to look at how the benefits are trickling down to the communities as well. So all this will allow us to see how also the benefit which we have are trickling down to the community in a big way, in a scale up. So we'll be able to hear from various presentations. It's also very important that this meeting is held at the time we're going through under one CGR process. So this will be an opportunity to take inventory of what we have done and how to see how continue strengthening PABRA on one side, but on the other side, how the lessons from PABRA can be useful to other commodities. I'm sure could be some people would be interested to take lessons, and we'll also be very enthusiastic to support other programs which need this. So this also will allow us again to look at 2021, 2022 work plans and get the way forward probably approved, or any suggestions, but we're hoping they will be approved. So again, we're going through a turbulent time, but we hope to overcome. But this, as Teshari indicated, didn't stop PABRA because it's owned by countries, it's owned by private sector. We really are very enthusiastic. We may not have achieved all we planned, but I think we really did a good job because the countries kept on working. The alliance community keep on working together with them, interacting. So the private sector going on, the farmers going on. So that really gives the hope of that even if there is a pandemic, one way to avoid it is the risking is really ownership by communities and the people as well. So as we continue also, despite this challenge, we'll hope that we'll be able to transform the bean value chain, as we could see through the presentation we'll be having. So, and keep PABRA we'll keep PABRA members being engaged and as well in a collaborative manner. We really thank the Tanzanian government representing other 31 countries, which has really allowed us again to host, is hosting this meeting. We really appreciate the team in Tanzania and other PABRA members who are making this happen as well. We also appreciate the donors who, along this hard time, they were with us, helping us to move. I mean, it's a strong partnership. We don't call them donors. It's really partnership. Is the PABRA family which prevail and which will continue prevailing. So as we go through several challenges, as we also look forward to be firm in one CGR, we really think PABRA will continue being strengthened and offer lessons to other commodities as well. So without taking much of your time, we really appreciate your contribution, everybody's contribution, and then we wish you very good deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you, JC. And now it's time for Managing Director of African Hub Alliance of Biodiversity International and SEAT, Susan Ngo Ayok. Hello, Susan.
Is available.
She's not part of the panelist.
Yes, so you can continue with the development partners.
Certainly, Mary, go ahead.
Okay, now it's time to hear from development partners. And to start with, Let us start with GAC.
She's connecting shortly. Maybe we can move to the next, and then when she comes, I'll let you know.
Okay. Now let's go to STC.
Hello,
Hello.
Michelle?
Can you continue with from African Development Bank while I'm waiting for those two?
They have a time challenge, so maybe we move. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to ACIAR.
I think Kelly is trying to raise her hand. Just a minute.
Okay.
Kelly, can you hear us?
Okay, I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I was muted, so I was listening to you, but I couldn't see anything. Okay, this is Kelly Thompson from Global Affairs Canada. I'm the project team leader for the SIA project. Kelly Busana, I welcome the presence and the support of the Minister for Agriculture in Tanzania, the Honorable Adolf Mkenda, and the Director General of TARI, Jeffrey Micalilo. And in the interest of brevity, all of the protocols observed. Nonetheless, I'd like to thank everyone on the screen for taking time out of their busy schedules to share information and insights on this BEAN initiative. Special thanks to PABRA networks and platforms that are implementing this impressive project. Not to forget Jean-Claude Rubio and his team for their excellent project monitoring and report, despite the pandemic. Since I can no longer visit project sites, the PABRA team and their national networks are my eyes and ears on the ground. 4 years ago, Canada launched the Feminist International Assistance Policy, which puts women front and center in all programming, because without women and girls, we will never be able to eliminate poverty as envisioned by the SDGs. So Canada is very proud to support this initiative, where SIA has worked hard to empower women to increase family income, nutrition, and the participation in leadership roles in their communities. Together, we've learned that it's not enough just to have women as beneficiaries. We also need them as role models, as leaders in project management. We need them in decision-making, in research, and in business. Canada's Pan-African and regional program that I am part of was put in place to fund regional programming that goes beyond individual countries and promotes regional integration. And this project is a really good example of how multi-country programming in Africa can be synergistic, with countries benefiting from each other's experiences, lessons learned, and best practices. This annual meeting is important. It provides us with an excellent opportunity to learn from each other and improve and broaden the reach and impact of this project in the coming years. Another special aspect of these meetings is our opportunity to do a deep dive in a particular country. And for this, my appreciation goes out to Tanzania for hosting us this week. I was lucky enough 2 years ago, before anyone had heard of COVID, to go on a field trip with Jean-Claude and with Robin Burachera in the Arusha area, where Tari Salini hosted my visit. The guru reminded me that Canada actually funded the construction of the center's building some 40 years ago. So Canada is obviously a long-standing partner of Tanzania. Joseph also advised me that 17% of the beans grown in Africa are grown in Tanzania. So we realize Tanzania is a really important partner in supporting bean production and sales on the continent. It was also in Tanzania I saw my first solar dryers and automated threshers, and realized how much the latter would contribute to reducing women's drudgeries in the fields. SIA has also engaged women to produce and distribute, also engaged youth to produce and distribute these machines. This is important because we all know Africa has a huge unemployed youth population, and agriculture and agribusiness hold important potential for youth to become gainfully employed and support their families. Important research is also taking place at TARI to determine farmer and market preferences for seed varieties, which is being disseminated through PABRA networks and platforms across the continent. This research even determined that men and women do not have the same preferences for beans. Not surprisingly, women prefer beans that are more nutritious, that cook faster, that taste better, and are early maturing, while men are more interested in market size and value and market appealing size and color of beans. I mentioned the GAC also supports international trade, and this project is supporting local businesses and promoting value-added bean products, including pre-cooked beans and nutritious bean flours. This project's bean corridor approach, which is very innovative, provides an opportunity for economies of scale, increased productivity, leading to more trade between neighboring nations and improving the nutrition of communities along the way. A real success of this project is partnerships, as the people around the table today demonstrate. We have government representatives, policymakers, researchers, entrepreneurs, civil society organizations, farmers, other donors, financial institutions, and all the countries that are participating in the corridor approach. For instance, collaboration with the Tanzanian government has been key in supporting the agricultural value chain and promoting agribusinesses in this country. In Tanzania and in some of the other PABRA countries, the project has also partnered with schools to provide feeding programs to increase children's nutrition. This program has suffered in some countries due to school closures this year, but has been an important component in keeping children healthy. I want to acknowledge the important work that PABRA and CIAT are doing to increase the nutritional value and awareness of beans as key to food security in Africa. I also want to congratulate TARI and CIAT for their foresight in linking with MasterCard Labs to support financial inclusion of smallholder farmers, particularly women. Over the past 3 years, I've seen this initiative introduce innovations and increase smallholder farmers' productions and revenues, despite significant setbacks on the continent, such as locusts, extreme weather events, and especially the pandemic. However, over the past year, PABRA has actually leveraged its virtual platforms to sustain and even increase access to training, finance, and critical agricultural information. I look forward to the next 3 days to hearing more about your knowledge and experience that will contribute to making this a more effective project. From the farmers I talked to in Kenya, I know that growing, trading, and processing beans is key to family food security, as well as family savings to pay for education and health expenses. So keep up the good work. Thank you all for your dedication, and I wish us all a productive few days. Asanteni, Nesiku Njema.
Thank you, Kelly Thompson. Now it's time for a representative from SDC, Michelle. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you very much. You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
We can see you, although. Please have your camera on or your webcam.
Oh, I will try to do it.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if it's working now. Webcam. Okay.
The microphone, yeah.
Yes, I think it's okay now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Michel Eveco from the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, working in the global program food security. And so I'm managing mainly the research and innovation portfolio here at SDC Global Program. So it's not the first time that I heard about PABRA, because PABRA is a very famous program at SDC. Long-term support with a lot of very interesting results and a lot of showcase how research for development together with a partner in the South should be done. So, but it is my first steering committee at this PABRA. And so I would like to thank, first of all, Tanzania and the Minister of Agriculture for hosting us. We would have preferred to be physically present there, but I think it will be next time, another time. So thank you very much, Mr. Minister, and all the Tanzanian colleagues who are working for this project and allowing us to meet today. I would like also to greet all the scientists and the people peut-être aussi toute la communauté francophone. Je vois que tout est traduit en français, donc il y a quand même pas mal de francophones. J'aimerais aussi les saluer là-dessus. Les haricots, c'est aussi beaucoup de la diversité, et donc la diversité culturelle est aussi importante pour le projet, je pense. With this, PABRA is now coming at the end of one cycle of its programmation. This year, there is a big change ongoing in the CGIAR and in SEAT biodiversity. So I think, first of all, it was mentioned by my colleague of Canada, PABRA has really a lot of results, a lot of approaches, a lot of way doing partnership to show to the new CGIAR how to continue. And I think it will be very important that PABRA scientists, PABRA people, PABRA stakeholders are involving in this kind of new portfolio, which is now under development, and we will have to discuss how to bring PABRA all together more in this endeavor, and how to continue how we will continue to work together. Because I think with the PABRA approach, with this corridor, with the comprehensive multi-stakeholder way of working together, that means we are working on food system, and especially on bean, which is very important for nutrition, for women, for all the aspects of development that we are supporting. And this is very important for SDC to continue to think and to work with you together in the future. So I'm really looking forward hearing the good result that you will show us during these 3 days, and discuss with you the future of PABRA or the bean research in CGIAR in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michel. And now it's time for representative from ACIAR, Eric. Welcome, Eric.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. Greeting everyone, Tanzanian colleagues, all the researchers assembled today, all my colleagues from SEAT PABRA organizing these meetings. Greetings from Canberra, Australia. My name is Eric Huttner. I am the General Manager for the Crops Program at the Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research. Our program is investing in the modernization of the bean breeding program of 6 East African countries, and we acknowledge the very collegial and multi-stakeholder work that PABRA is doing in this field. And we hope our project can open new, more effective and faster ways of delivering bean varieties for African smallholders with particular improved traits that are high in demand, as my 2 colleagues have just alluded to before. And I am very interested in this first meeting for me of the steering committee to understand where the organization is going, building on such a strong legacy that's been widely acknowledged by many international organizations. So building on a strong legacy and moving on to further impact. Je profite de l'occasion pour saluer aussi la communauté francophone d'Afrique. Thank you very much for the invitation and looking forward for the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Now it's time for a representative from Astareka. Can we
Hello,
move
Enoch,
to
are you on?
Patricia?
Yeah, I saw Eric earlier. I'm just confirming if he's still online. He's a representative from Azareka.
Enoch.
Yes.
Enoch.
Yes.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
go to MD and then.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay, so can I welcome Suzanne? Suzanne is the MD for the Alliance of Biodiversity International and SEAT Alliance to give her welcome remarks. Welcome, Suzanne.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Can hear you, not yet seen you.
Now?
Not yet.
I don't know what's happening with my camera.
Okay.
So for a matter of time, you will hear me. Sorry if you cannot see me. You might see me when my camera decides to join the meeting. Honorable Minister, Director General of TARI, dear coordinator and colleague, development partners, and long-term supports of PABRA, GAC, SDC, FDB, ACER, Azareka, CORAF, of course, CARDESA, and of course, long-time support USAID, ECABREN and PABRA members and dear participants. This is, for me, the second PABRA steering committee that I have the honor of participating to as the managing director of the Africa region. PABRA is the most renowned and longest standing program of SEAT in Africa. The work that has been done in focusing on breeding, corridor development, nutrition, women empowerment, youth empowerment, and marketing in the Africa region for the promotion and adoption of the common bean for nutritious reasons have been one of the most noticeable work that has also guided the thinking around community development through the CGAR. PABRA is not only a platform, it's not only a membership, it is also the common thinking and research coordination and collaboration with our national partners. When I think about the work that we are doing with national partners, I think of the long collaboration, capacity development, exchange, and knowledge that we have been able to share for the benefit of the farmers in Africa. Today, TARI and the government of Tanzania is giving us the honor of hosting us for the steering committee meeting. I want to praise the collaborations, but also my colleagues for being able to push the work and always push it forward, making sure that the work carries on despite the pandemic. Adapting, changing, and transforming maybe forever the way that we are doing business, the way we are collaborating, and the way we are conducting research. So again, I am honored to be among you. I apologize for my delay. My calendar has another way of thinking, like my camera. Thank you for having us. Welcome to everybody. And I hope that we will have good proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Now let's go back to our development partners. Representative from Azareka, if you're online. We can move to representative from CARDESA.
There could be challenge of network, so maybe, yeah.
So we can move to USAID.
Yeah, USAID they sent apology. Yeah.
Okay. So
And
should,
BMG.
okay. Can you allow me to welcome Director General of TARI now?
If Asareka is not available, because he's trying to connect. Can go to DJ and then if he can express when he's available.
Okay.
Hello.
Welcome, Dr. Lukonge.
Yes, thank you so much. Of course, I'm representing the Director General, Tari.
Welcome, Doctor.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, and on behalf of the Director, Tari and Tari in general, first of all, we wanted to thank the organizing committee who saw our importance in this very important meeting. And we feel really honored to at least to appreciate what we have been doing in collaboration with the PABRA and the other scientists. So as a TARI, actually, we are very happy on that. And you know that the objective or the aim for having TARI, it is to make sure that we are developing the technologies and those technologies are disseminated into the community. In that case, it means being is one of the commodities we are dealing with in such a way that we can reduce some challenges or contribute in reducing the challenges related to climate change, poverty in our communities, as well as nutrition, because we have developed in collaboration with the scientists working on being in the real world, we have managed to release about 43 varieties. Those are important for economy, for food security, for nutrition. And now you can see on the way PABRA and SEAT on how they are really working hard to make sure that the Tanzanian community is receiving or is getting what is required as human being. And in collaboration with the PABRA, TARI has been highly successfully in creating an enabling environment to build a vibrant being value chain. You can understand that apart from research, as research, we are working with different stakeholders.
Sorry, Evelina, could you please stay closer to the microphone because we don't hear you very well, and
Okay.
and maybe let's turn off the webcam. Maybe you have a low connection on your side. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, same as before.
Is it still okay? Or
Maybe try to remove the webcam, so maybe can it takes to bandwidth on your connection.
now, is it okay? Hello?
Seems the same, but seems better.
It seems better. Fine. Okay, thank you. What I was saying that in collaboration with PABRA and TARI, we had a number of achievements, including enabling environment to build devices that are being validated, as we are working with the different stakeholders to make sure that the technologies we are developing are going far to users as well as market. So this is a very important where at least farmers and the community in Tanzania can benefit the importance of beans. And you know that Tanzania, almost the whole country, we are consuming beans in one way or another. For example, we have established a bean able to intensify in production and marketing because we have different stakeholders, well, processors, we have who are dealing with marketing and so on and so forth, from developing the varieties, but also we are doing seed multiplication, make sure at different stages from breeder seed, basically seed, basically seed, as well as certified to in that value chain to make sure that other producers, other multipliers, other processors, including marketing, can consume that and have the benefit from it. And the number of seed companies actually have increased from one seed company which was available during in 2015. And now, up to 2021, we have at least 8 companies. Now you can see the improvement we have developed from this collaboration. So we have managed now to produce seed. For example, in 2015, we were managing to produce at least 5.7. Now, in 2020, we had a production of 8,627.9 metric tons. And we have moved really further, although we are still continuing to make sure that we are getting somewhere. And field productivity actually per hectare has increased from 2.77 tons per hectare.
Verino, we don't hear you. We don't completely hear you. Sorry.
I do, my friend. What can be done?
Now we are hearing you well.
You are hearing me, and because now I am on the screen.
Yeah, now we are hearing.
Can you come
Now we are
close to your
hearing
mic?
well.
Yes, I am very closer to the screen. Yeah, so we have managed to increase the bean per hectare from 0.77 to, which was realized in 2012, up to 1.3 metric tons per hectare. That is a very big improvement. And we have released the new varieties, of course, with the different traits, different characteristics. And we have managed to engage to potential stakeholders to strengthen the bean value chain. So on behalf of TARI, we thank this collaboration, and we are really ready to continue collaborating in one way or another. And even if we have the government support, to make sure that we are going on with the research, but in the value chain, to make sure that what we are developing, those varieties, the technologies on processing, technologies on production, they must reach the Tanzanian community. So on behalf of the GTARI, I say thank you and welcome. Anytime the door is open for collaboration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lukonge, on behalf of Director General TARI. Now let's go back to our development partners. Enoch is ready. Enoch is from Asareka. Welcome, Enoch. Hello, Enoch. Patricia?
Yeah,
Enoch,
he's
you
on.
are unmuted. Try to talk, please. Enoch is unmuted, so maybe has problem with the microphone. Have you choose the correct device?
Hello, Enoch.
Seems your microphone doesn't work. Have you tried to unplug and replug the microphone? He's already unmuted.
Yeah, he's unmuted.
Yeah, so try to unplug and replug the microphone or the device. Maybe we can go with the next one. Meanwhile, Enoch try to solve microphone problem.
All right, I'll reach him out on the side. Mary, let's continue the program.
Okay. Representative from CADESA is not around.
They have
Good
a connection.
morning. I'm around if you can hear me.
Okay.
Hello?
Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. First, let me appreciate the invitation that was extended to CADESA. My name is Simon Mwale. I'm the Programs and Grants Manager. Unfortunately, the Executive Director was not able to attend in person, but he asked me to represent him.
Simon, we don't hear you anymore. Simon, do you hear us?
I think he dropped off.
Yeah, he's still online. He is unmuted, but we don't hear any voice from you. Okay, I think he unplugged the microphone, so please replug it and let's retry. Okay, now we can hear you.
Oh, I was not audible?
Yeah, exactly. Before we didn't hear you, so now we hear you. You can go.
Let me start afresh then. I started by saying that I would like to thank the organizers for inviting CADESA to this meeting. And the executive director is not able to attend in person because he has rushed for an emergency in Swaziland, which is Eswatini. But having said that, CADESA is an important partner in this partnership with PABRA, and we appreciate the partnership that exists between CADESA and the other institutions within the PABRA family. We've been on the steering committee for some time, and we've seen the work of PABRA, Sabrin, and all the products that have come from this network. And they all have contributed significantly to where we are in Southern Africa in terms of food security. Beans is one of the most important crops in the region because of the nutritional status of the crop itself, and because it provides affordable protein to the most vulnerable people, especially in the rural areas. And as such, with a region that has about 52%, 52 million people food insecure. It is very important for us to put a lot of emphasis on bean. So we are looking forward to good discussions within this steering committee. And once again, I would like to thank the organizers and the government of the United Republic of Tanzania for hosting this meeting. And we look forward to very fruitful discussions, and we are available for further collaboration to strengthen what we have already been through. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Simon. Now, representative from USAID.
They apologized because of timing. Yeah.
Okay. Now it's time for us to hear opening remarks from Minister of Agriculture in Tanzania, Honorable Professor Adolf Mkenda.
Do you see him online? I don't find him.
I think let's go with Enoch. He just informed me that he's joined back as
Yeah, Enoch is already unmuted. He needs only to unmute himself and try to talk.
Okay, it's fine. Now, Enoch from Asareka.
Enoch, do you hear us? You need to unmute yourself. Okay, now you're unmuted. Could you please try to talk? Please try to unplug and replug the microphone device. Okay, now you're unmuted. Could you please try to talk? Okay, let's try. Enoch, try to leave and then rejoin the meeting. Maybe this can solve the issue. Thanks. Okay, let's wait for Enoch. Okay, and okay is rejoined. So now you need to unmute yourself and then try to talk, please. Okay, maybe let's move forward.
All right. Thank you very much, Valerio. I think we'll give Enoch a chance towards the second session once he's able to sort out his microphone. So I'm told that we'll have to give the minister a couple of minutes. He's yet to join us. But in the meantime, I'd like us to have a short break. Let's go on a 5 minutes stretch break, grab a cup of coffee, have some health break as we continue on to the next session, which is quite interesting. We'll get to hear from Zinduka Women Group. We'll also get to hear from G2L and Rose Mongi, as well as MasterCard representative Bernardo Cage, just to share with us how the corridor concept is working in Tanzania. And this session will be facilitated by Berhanu Fenta from Ethiopia BIM program. So let's have a 5 minutes break. Let's come back at 11:12 exactly. Thank you. Can you hear me, everyone?
Patricia.
Yes, okay, Mary. Thank you. So welcome back after the short break. I hope you grabbed yourself a cup of coffee.
Yes, I can hear you, Patricia.
Great, great, Bernard. So
Yeah,
we are getting into the second session. And I would like to welcome Berhanu. Berhanu, are you on?
Yes, I am on. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we were loud and clear. Please, can we have your camera?
I'm now well, I can on it, but I scared our connection. It might not be strong, but maybe I can show slightly.
Yes, just to introduce yourself and then we can continue.
Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
So does everybody is around now? So we can start.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back after tea break, tea or coffee break. And now we resume the next session of this PABRA Steering Committee meeting. As you see, the theme of this meeting is harnessing the power of beans research to achieve inclusive economic growth. Yeah, this is the second one, the second session, which is sub-theme, which the sub-theme is now, which I'm facilitating, is implementing bean corridor concepts in Tanzania. We have several talks around this sub-theme. The first presenter is Rose, which should give us a brief highlight on bean research for the development in Tanzania. So I am inviting Rose. Rose, you can continue. Rose, I can see your PowerPoint. So,
okay, thank you, Bernardo.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Rose Mongi, a coordinator for the bean research.
Sorry, before we start, okay, I'm giving you the mouse and keyboard control so you can move the presentation from your side. Okay, Rose?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, could you please try to move the presentation? Just a test. Just clicking on the presentation.
On the top, around the top, right?
Yeah, just clicking on the presentation, Rose.
Okay, can you see it?
So there is a.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can.
Should I continue?
Yes.
Okay. Once again, my name is Rose Mongi. I'm the Bean Research Coordinator in Tanzania. And the title of my presentation is Potentials of Bean Research and Effective Partnership for a Wider Product Utilization Towards Economic Growth in Tanzania. And why are we engaging into bean research and production? Bean production in Tanzania is estimated at 1.2 million metric tons, and the yield per hectare is between 1.1 and 1.3 tons per hectare. The beans has a potential in the country in that it contributes to the well-being of people. How? Over 75% of Tanzanians depends on bean, and per capita consumption has been increasing and now is estimated or is at 19.3 kilograms per person per year. The beans, as other stakeholders have already said, is a source of protein and micronutrients, particularly zinc and iron, and is a source of income to a larger group of people in Tanzania as it provides employment to all groups, especially women and youth. So for a decade, we have been doing research in Tanzania, very good research, but our results were not going as fast as we have expected. Why? Because of several factors, and we decided to learn through and adopt a PABRA model, where now we oriented our breeding into a demand-led driven, which is considering market as a pulling force. So in this regard, we are responding to the major bean corridors that has been established, and these are red mottled, yellow, sugar, red kidney, and purple, also known as kablanketi. This slide shows a map of Tanzania. You can see the bean corridors in that map mapped very well, and you can see our major traders, not the only traders, but these are major traders, and they are trading 26,000 metric tons annually, and these are sold within the country and outside, and exported outside. You can also see the bean, beans yellow, red mottled, and whatever. Here at this, we are G2L will provide more insights on what is going on because it's one of the partners. You'll hear it in the next presentations. So now coming to technology development, TARI is really engaging into our technology development, doing a very, very good job in breeding. Here we create genetic variation within our own material, locally adapted, and we are also introducing new lines from PABRA networks, the SABRAIN and ECABRAIN. We are also doing soil analysis. We are doing integrated crop management, particularly on climate smart agriculture, to increase resilience to the effect of climate changes. We are also doing post-harvest research, and we are also doing market research. In technology development, as I said, that we are creating our own genetic variation using our locally adapted materials as female parents, and occasionally importing from outside as male parents. Here we obtain segregating populations, and you can see the second slide that you can see one of these of stakeholders, particularly women, going through our segregating materials, selecting plants. These plants are planted as plant rows together with the nurseries and trials obtained from the PABRA networks, ECABRAIN and SABRAIN. From there, we evaluate and see, take them to the LS lines are taken to the multi-locational sites, and then those which are performing better, they are sent to on-farm trials where they are evaluated with farmers under their own environments. From there, we normally invite groups of farmers, and occasionally we also invite policymakers, and we also invite seed companies. You can see on the last slide. So now our breeding targets variety replacement that respond to the market, as I said before. Why? Because we need a lot of them to be uptaken and bring a benefit to the people involved in the bean value chain. So we are having the market class. You can see in the first column, the red mottled. We used to have the Amugo 910. Now it succumbed to diseases. It has been replaced by Kalimawiole. And we are also having in the pipeline NUA 745, which will be released soon. We are also in the yellow corridor. We are having Uyole 98, Uyole 04, which has been replaced by Uyole 16, Salient 13, and we are having more lines which are under improvement in our stations. On a purple ochre blanket type, where we used to have local varieties, which are still yet, but not really, we are not concentrating much on them. We are having Jessica, which was released in 1997. These ones have been replaced by Uyole 18, Salient 15, and we are having something in the pipeline, Kipapi and Kablanketi Progeny 4. On the other side, on the other market, we are having sugar replaced, which we used to have Uyole 03. It has been replaced by RWR 2154, released this year. And we are also having something in the pipeline, Sweet Violet, Gloria, and VTT, as you can see in this slide. Now, having these good varieties coming out of the research program, what are we going to do with them? We have designed a technology delivery and dissemination pathway to stakeholders involved in the bean value chain to ensure that all our materials are reaching farmers and other beneficiaries. From this slide, you can see the blue ones are those who are dealing mainly with seed. You can see we are having TARI, ANSA, Farmer Group, agro-dealers, and we are also having bean demos. From the bottom, you can see the deep green boxes, which are stakeholders dealing mainly with grain. You can see we are having schools, farmers, grain, and we are also having processors. The light green standalone box, you can see is a mechanization service provider. These are supporting all the seed producers. They are supporting grain producers as well. They are also supporting processors. We are also alongside having a Tanzania Seed Certification Institute that is also making sure that we are producing true to type varieties that will be of beneficial to farmers. We are also having facilitators, particularly NGO and CBO, and the digital agriculture is also coming in this complex to make sure that we are making good progress in disseminating our varieties. So having dissemination plan does not mean that we have reached the target. We are also building capacity on technology promotion. How we are doing it, we are building capacity on good agronomical practices. You can see here the stakes and whatever. We are also doing labor saving technologies like using planters. We are also using post-harvest handling technologies like the use of solar bubble dryer. We are seeing the bean thresher. You can see it, that young boy, young man having it on his motorbike. We are also using planters, as I said before. We will have more insights from Crop Bioscience, who is also bundling seed with mechanization to make things easier to the farmers. We are also doing capacity development on packing seed in small packs and bundling innovations. How are we doing that? We managed to sensitize many of the seed companies and seed organizations to reduce their pack size from 100 kg to 2 kg and less. That makes it affordable to a good number of smallholder farmers. And not only make accessible, affordable to smallholder farmers, but also to agro-dealers. We are also bundling bean seed with fungicides. Here we can see on this slide, one of our seed company, Beula, who has already managed to do that to ensure that we are getting a good crop when we plant the seed. And what are we doing? Yes, we are building capacity. What else can we do to make our beans move faster? We are engaging private sector to partner with us, particularly on seed production, to cut down costs. In this slide, you will see this man standing here is a bider who has been contracted by TARI to produce early generation seed. We are also seeing the Zinduka Women Group in Bear, who have also been contracted to produce some of the early generation seed. So we are really moving forward by partnership with other organizations in the private sector. So what are we benefiting? Are we partnering and then that's all? We are benefiting by partnering. The first thing is the bundling seed with mechanization is among of the benefits we are reaping, and I believe that Prof Bioscience will give more insights on this one. The bean threshing services from the private sector is offering employment to youth, reducing drudgery and save time to farmers. And not only that, we are having off-takers. These are considered as a private sector. These people in this, you can see this lady with a semi-trailer. He is one of the off-takers, and by doing that, they are creating employment to a good number of people and contribute to the government revenue. And not only that, we are having bean processors as a private sector. They are processing bean flour. For example, we are having Jagef Group, who has already increased from 20 kg to 1,500 kg in 2020. So these bean processors, they are not only processing bean flour, they are also designing bean products to increase consumption. And these are the benefits we are reaping, that our people are getting nutritious food for their own health. Another thing is, as I said, nutrition is one of paramount things we are considering in our bean program. This is because we want people to increase consumption of micronutrient-rich bean-based products, and by engaging with partners, we have managed to do this. And the partners also, as a private sector, they are engaging in promotion of high-end beans because they are also making business, and they are doing it through field days, agri-fairs, school feeding programs. And from this, we have an increase of number of schools, which has reached 2,285 across the country. And Redemptor from Karagwe district will give more insights on this one. This is the map showing the distribution of the schools which have been receiving high iron beans. So not only that, we managed to engage policymakers who are also engaged in nutrition. And here you can see the bottom of this slide. You can see by then the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Tizeba, promoting and supporting release of high iron beans. And the policymakers are also engaged in training and supporting women-led SMEs to better process and market bean-based products. Again, we'll hear more from Karagwe. And in private sector investments and benefits, what we are getting also is digitizing our agricultural services. We have managed to digitize the agricultural marketplace, and this is happening in Kagera, and this is coordinated by Caderes. And the aim of this one is linking producer and buyers. And the MasterCard representative will give more insights on this one. We are also having Kilimo Maendeleo platform that is providing agricultural information to farmers through their mobile phones. Here they provide extension services, advices, weather updates, disease and pest infestation alerts, so farmers they can know exactly what to use and what to plant. I mean, we are also having a digital data collection and management tool, which is collecting market information and track the distribution of grain in the country. These are ODK and Climb More. What are the impact of adopting the PABRA model? We have seen impact. We have seen other partners dealing with other commodities being attracted attracted in this. For example, Harvest Plus, Gain, Ricolto, Save the Children, Plan Concern, International, FAO, on promotion of bean-based products. This is really a big impact. We are also seeing other stakeholders involved in other commodities like provitamin A maize and orange fresh potatoes, blending bean flour with their products. So this is a great opportunity and impact to our country. Not only that, but we are the demand-led research, which we adopted from PABRA. We are seeing it in other crops, imitate or taking the same to their program to make sure that their products are also sellable and reach intended beneficiaries. So with this, really, I really acknowledge all the stakeholders who are involved in this. I can mention one by one, but you can see them in this slide. I mean that together will make a difference. Thank you for listening and welcome to Tanzania.
Okay, thank you so much, Rose. I think you gave us really a very good talk. Rose gave us starting from technology generation, multiplication, promotion, public-private linkage, and up to how our national program has made impact to the bean research and development. Really, thank you so much, Rose. I think can we have maybe 2 or 3 maximum of maybe comments or questions for Rose, because she used most of her time. Anyone who has a comment or
sorry, if you have a question from the attendees, just there should be a raise hand button. Just click on that, and then we will unmute you so you can ask your question. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good plan. So you raise your question, your hand, and so we can give you the chance to request. Hello? Nothing?
No question for now. No raise hand.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. So it should be very clear, yeah. So we continue to the next one. So the next one is on experience and inclusive impacts from off-taker of beans. Gladys will give us this story from operation manager of G21 company. So Gladys, the floor is yours. Thank you. Gladys.
Sorry, organizer, my hand is up. I had a small question for Rose.
Oh, for Rose. Is it Gladys or who is this one? Okay, just quickly.
I would like to find out from the presenter. I would like to find out from the presenter a variety like Kablankete, which has been released in another country already. I want to find out whether they are planning to use the regional system for release of the variety under the SADC harmonized seed regulatory system. Thank you.
Okay. Rose, can you have any response for this one?
Pardon, please.
Regarding the registration of like Kamlakiti.
Yes.
I think it is, the query is regarding the regional release and also maybe multiplication and promotion of Kamlakiti variety at SADC region. Is there any progress on that? Hello, Rose. Rose.
Hello.
Does your question is there does Kamlakiti variety has been released by SADC region, and then lots of it is released. How is its multiplication and promotion around SADC region, Kamlakiti variety?
Okay, for Kablanketi variety, we are yet to release because we have a requirement that it has to be tested at least for more than 2 countries before it is considered to be released in the SADC countries. So what we are negotiating with our colleagues is to send our material to their country so that they can test, and if the varieties are successful in theirs, then it will be catalogued in the SADC variety catalog.
Okay.
Yes.
So there is an attempt, yeah, right?
Yes.
Good. So maybe maybe PABRA or somebody should help them, maybe how the process will be on releasing and registering across this regional catalog. So I think that will be an assignment. I think we can note this one. Anyone to help them how to apply and also register this variety in SADC region. So can we continue to the next presenter?
Maybe Brahanu, there is another question. Kelly has the print as well. Kelly, I think it's good to look at this the screen. Maybe some people will have questions as well.
Yeah, I was using the chat box.
The hand, that's my problem.
This is Kelly. I was using the chat box. I was interested to know something about cross-border trade between Tanzania and its neighbors in beans and what that contributes economically.
Can you repeat your question again, please?
Yes, I was interested to know more about cross-border trade in beans between Tanzania and its neighbors and the economic contribution.
Classes of beans? I didn't get you. You are interested in what
Cross-border. Rose,
yes.
The question is, how is the cross-border trade of beans across neighboring countries, and how it has also economic contribution to Tanzania?
Okay, if you may recall the second, I don't know, the second or third slide, we had shown the way the beans are moving out of Tanzania. They are going more than 10 African countries, and they are also going abroad like Pakistan, and they are also going to Europe and Asia. So the beans which are going out, I don't have the data right now because I didn't prepare for that, but the beans are getting out of Tanzania, and in that they are creating employment, meaning that we are increasing the market size, and not only that, they are contributing to forex available in the country, increasing the well-being of people. So the beans are really moving out of the country to more than 10 countries in Africa and to Asia and Europe, like Pakistan and others.
Thank you.
And you have also some marketing with Kenya, right? With Kenya and African countries. Yeah.
Brahanu.
Yes.
Let's say you also have some data you can complete Rose statement.
Yeah, but yes, I know. Maybe I can add some supplement to Rose. We have, for instance, I know Tanzania has also cross-border trade, strong cross-border trade to Kenya. For instance, if you look at like a country like Ethiopia, we have a cross-border trade with Kenya, Sudan, Egypt, and also to Djibouti, and South Africa as well. But a bit far from the, from East Africa, and it has really we have really we can get across. Being exports from cross-border. And actually some more to Middle East as well, but more than 100 million USD per annum trade. But in Africa, close plus minus, $40 million export is, from beans from cross-border to African, mainly actually the Kenya. Kenya is almost 10% of our cross-border trade. So I think in Tanzania as well, I know in some of the previous presentations, they have a cross-border trade to Kenya, strong cross-border to Kenya. I think, and it has a really strong, impact into the the smallholder farmer as well as to the country.
Yes, but now
since we don't have, much other things.
Yes, but now we are also exporting to Kenya. We are also exporting to Southern Sudan. We are exporting to South Africa. It goes all the way to Malawi or whatever. So we have a lot of this. The five big traders I talked about are the ones which are doing the exportation a lot. So the amount of money we are getting out of that, I don't have the data, but really we are getting something. Otherwise, if we are not going to, we are not getting anything, there was no reason to do business with cross-border business in the first place. Thank you so much. A nice question.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Okay. So I hope we end the question here, right? Can we move to the next one? Okay, thank you. So can we have second presenter, Gladys?
Raise hand. He
Is
needs
there any
to.
hand?
Yeah, Shida needs to unmute.
Okay, Shida. Okay, Shida, can you give us your query just quickly, please?
Yes, Behanu.
Yes.
Dr. Behanu. Yes, I wanted just to
Yes, please.
contribute on the data, the amount of beans that is exported to other neighbor countries. I will just complement by the market classes. For instance, the lady motors, the metric tons that are exported to neighbor countries is almost around the 200,000 metric tons. And also we have the round yellows, including the 30 and 13, which is the major variety that is exported. And this one, the data is around the 50,000 metric tons. And also the sugar beet that is traded to the southern part is around more than 5,000 metric tons, which is go to South Africa, Zambia, Malawi, and the other parts. So that's my contribution. But still, we have the potential of going beyond the amount that I mentioned. For instance, the lady motors, it's projected, the market is projected to be more than 600,000 metric tons just to Kenya, excluding the other countries. So there is, we are expecting so much, but still there is also a potential to go beyond that. So is PABRA and the other partners to put hands together, so that we make sure that the projected market, we at least we can cover the amount that's required. Thank you, Dr. Behanu.
Okay, thank you for your compliment. Thank you so much. I'm hoping we end a discussion about this one here, right? Can't see any hand, right?
Yeah, for more questions, maybe we can put on the chat box.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Yes.
Because the time is against us. So can you, the second presenter, can you please share us your screen?
There is another question from Shadrach.
Yeah, I have a question here.
Okay, go
Can
forward.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
According to Rose Mongi, she said that the Liamungo 90 is now being replaced by the Kalima Uyole. But to my understanding, that Liamungo 90 is a good market than the Kalima Uyole. My question is, what are the strategies that they have put forward to cleaning the Liamungo 90 so that we retain the variety in the market?
Thank you so much for your question. Can I go ahead, Mr. Facilitator?
Yeah, sure, please. Briefly.
Okay. Liamungo 90 was released in 1990. The variety succumbs to angular leaf spot and anthracnose. So if you plant and you have occasions of infestation of the disease, you will lose a lot. So what we have we replaced Liamungo 90 with Kalima Uyole. Though some of the farmers are still growing. The thing is, we have taken back Liamungo 90 into the factory, meaning that we have returned the variety to the breeding to incorporate genes that are resistant to angular leaf spot and anthracnose. And we hope for the better that in few years to come, we'll be able to release it as a maybe Liamungo 90A or Liamungo whatever with another name. So what you are saying that we are doing efforts, we are making a lot of efforts to do the breeding work to ensure that farmers or stakeholders or marketers are still enjoying the benefits of Liamungo 90.
Okay, thank you.
I think this will be the last. So anyone, if you have any query, please put your comment in the chat board and then she can reply. Thank you. So let's move to the next presenter, please. The second presenter, please share us your screen.
Good morning, everybody.
Gladys.
Yes,
Good
I'm
morning.
here.
Yeah, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Gladys from G2L company. First of all, I would like to thank you, the organizer, for inviting G2L to be part of this steering committee meeting. I'll continue. G2L company is a private agro-processing and trading company based at Majengo Industrial Area, Makambako, Njombe in Tanzania, or in Southern Highland of Tanzania. We have been registered in 2008 with registration number 68223, but we started our operation on 2012. The product of our the company product are 5, which are rice, common beans, white maize flour, soybean, and others. When I say others, sometimes we sell white maize and the other variety. The service which the company offer is rice paddy processing tool, whereby smallholder farmers and other business people come to our machine and process their paddy. We offer warehouse storage of 3,000 metric ton. We do training to our smallholder farmers. We do linkage smallholder farmer to financial institution, and we do contract farming. G2L operate in 5. We used to be in 5 regions, which is we operate in Njombe region, Ruvuma region, Mbeya region, Iringa. In those regions, we work with smallholder farmers because this session is to share our experience on experience and inclusive impact of taking beans. I'll go deep on beans. G2L, we offer 2 varieties, which is Uyole 96 and Uyole Jano or yellow. And our market is within Tanzania, whereby we have 5 outlets, 2 in Dar es Salaam, 2 in Lindi, and 1 in Mtwara. But sometimes we offer around the international, especially East African region and the Congo. When we started this, we set our target, which from 2017 to 2021, we set our target to sell at least 10,000 metric tons of common beans with the variety which I mentioned. G2L work close with Tali Uyole. Tali Uyole is our source of our seeds to our smallholder farmers. But Tali Uyole also provided various training, including gender promotion, especially to women within all climate change mitigation and adaptation efforts. Also, Tali Uyole link us with other seed actors like Beula. Also, Tali Uyole provide market research information and technical support. And sometimes we go to Tali Uyole to ask them on various questions which our farmers ask us. Or we connect Tali Uyole to our farmers when they have any problem or challenges. But the G2L also provide different support to smallholder farmer through other partners or development partners. We do our first support we do to our smallholder farmers is contract farming. We started the beans business on 2016, 2017, whereby we start with contract smallholder farmers. And also we do input demand aggregation, where we submit this input demand aggregation to Tally Uyole so they can produce seeds on the quantity which our smallholder farmer wants. Also, we do building capacity to smallholder beans farmers, like climate smart agriculture, financial literacy, nutrition, post-harvest and handling techniques, gaps, farming as a business, farming business school, through matching grants with other development partners. Also, we do awareness creation and the promotion support, like demonstration plots and field days to our smallholder farmer. We do aggregation yield in collection centers. We innovate the aggregation center, not all, to some. When the smallholder farmers submit their needs, we go and innovate the aggregation centers. Also, we collect loan and buy yield. When I say collect loan, since we do contract farming, when the time of collecting your loan, we go and it will be a part of collecting all those loans and buying their output. Also, we link financial, we link our smallholder farmers with financial institutions like NMB and CRDB. From the left, my right side, you can see picture of our smallholder farmers during their different training and the certificate they get from all those training, which I mentioned. The result of this, we as G12 and the smallholder farmer, we benefit from different perspectives. G12, we have managed to reach at least 7,185 smallholder farmers who are receiving all those training which I mentioned, whereby 51% is male and 49% is female. Also, since we started in 2016, we managed to do contract farming, or we engaged in contract farming with 6,593 smallholder farmer, whereby 45% are female and 55% are male. We started linking our smallholder farmers with financial institutions like NMB and CRDB in 2019. We do this, but after realizing that we have major risk when we do direct contract farming with smallholder farmers, or the risk like heavy rain or drought, because we fall all to G12. So we shift that risk to financial institution. So we managed to at least to engage all those farmers to banks like it showed on the screen, but still the number of women is low. The grain quantity obtained from contracted and non-contracted farmer, from our target was to reach 10,000 metric ton, but we only managed to reach up to now we only managed to reach 79.04 of grain, which we buy from contracted farmer and non-contracted smallholder farmer on the mentioned areas. Benefit of contracting farmer, we assured the market to smallholder farmer. We improve the household income to smallholder farmers, because when we started, most of smallholder farmers, they didn't see the business, beans is a business. They only plant beans for householding food, but we changed that idea of seeing other product like maize is a business. We shifted them to beans business. Now you can see when you go to those mentioned region, people are planting beans and see beans as a business. We also access the input of finance. We do. We also local agro dealer now are selling improved seeds within their shops. But G12, we are short of market and we have a quality of product which we are looking. But though we still face challenge like less quality of grain obtained, quantity of grain obtained, especially last year, 2020, whereby we have excess rain. Also current prices their order of different variety during the harvest. This year, 2021, most of clients are looking for red sparkle kidney beans. We only 96 beans are still discarded, so we are waiting the results from the research institution. Also, equipment like duster, dryer, grind machine are still a challenge for our farmers, also for us. Digital experience of side selling in 2020 from contracted farmers, and this led for them not to receive the loan from the bank this year. One group didn't pay back the loan. Also, low involvement of youth in agriculture activities. Smallholder farmer need more refresher training. Also, women are trustful, but they are shy, afraid to be engaged into contract farming. Way forward, at least 45% of common beans to be used on processed baby food by G12 to add value on that common beans, and also to continue linking smallholder farmers with financial institutions for easy financial access and assist the registration of farmer group in all, especially to have more AMCOS and the strong farmers group. I want to acknowledge the government of Tanzania, especially local government, TARI, Uyole, NMB, PABRA, CRDB, and SIAT. Thank you for your attention, but you can visit our company through www.g2lcompanylimited.com. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing us your experience. Really, this is a very good private sector, really engaging in beans business and also supporting, farmers groups. Thanks so much. I don't want to recap this presentation because you are run out of time. So can we have only maximum of 2 questions, please? And anyone who want some clarification, comment, or whatever.
This is Eric here. Can I ask?
Okay, good.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you very much, Gladys. That was very interesting. You mentioned that the quantity of grains you collected in 2020 is much less than the target, and you said that it's because of excessive rain. What do you think could be done to reduce the climatic risk?
You can respond there.
As a processor, we used to report this to TARI Uyole because they are a research institution, because we don't have enough knowledge on the climate. We have a general knowledge. So we also provide training like climate smart agriculture and the good agronomic practice to our smallholder farmers. So we encourage them to follow the to practice what they have been training when they plant their beans. So I think we all will continue to help us on that changes on climate through our government. Thank you.
Was there an effect of COVID-19?
For us in Tanzania, we didn't have a lockdown. We just continue with our activity like a normal, but by taking more precaution. So I can't say it's a COVID. COVID affect on when we sell our product, not on the production side.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Who will pick the last chance? Hello? Okay, I think
there's a question by Kelly. Maybe I can unmute her.
Okay, good.
But please, if you have any question, just raise the hand, please. Okay,
Sorry,
Kelly,
Eric already asked the question. I was just wanting to know about the impact of COVID, so she answered. Thank
Okay. Is there any impact of COVID on last year production and marketing? Can you reply this, please? Gladys?
Come again?
Is there any
She already answered. She answered.
Okay. Okay, I couldn't be able to hear that. Okay, thank you. So, and if there is anyone who can please put your question or comments at the chat board, so we move to the next presenter. The next presenter is a woman group, which will give us a video show their experience as change and transformation against for upscaling of bean technologies and its impact. So we have the Duka Women's Group. So before they go to the women at the video show, I think they want to give us a 1 minute introduction, and then they'll go to the video showing. So I invite, the presenter, I think the chairperson. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, they're here.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Can they speak in Swahili? Then I will be translating maybe.
Okay. You have the video on as well? No camera?
No. Yes.
The screen has gone blank.
Valerio?
Hello?
Yeah, I just
Hello,
put the
Valerio.
video in the presenter. Yeah, there I am. Please let me know when I need to start with the video.
Okay. Agnes, please go ahead with the group.
Yes, we are with the witness Kaange, who is the chairperson of the Zinduka group, and Andusamire Bandile, the secretary of Zinduka Women Group. They can explain themselves how they started until now. Then I'll be translating their language.
Okay.
From what they are explaining. Yeah? Yes.
Okay, please proceed.
Welcome, witnesses. Yes. Yes. Nitambulishe. Kiswahili. Kiswahili, wewe hata Kiswahili. Jina langu naitwa Witness Kayanga. She is Witness Kayanga. Mwenyekiti wa kikundi cha Zinduka. Chairperson of the Zinduka group. Kikundi chetu kilianza mwaka 2010. Oh, my camera.
Yes, for the introduction.
Okay.
Thank you. So they can come onto the screen and do the introduction, and
you can endelea. Kikundi chetu kilianza mwaka 2010. Started in 2010. Yes. 2010 na tulianza mafunzo miaka 2 mfululizo. Yes, they went through training, in-house training for 2 years consecutively. Na lengo letu la kuanzisha kikundi
ilikuwa ni kutafuta soko la pamoja, kulima kilimo biashara, kupata elimu ya pamoja, pia kuonyesha nguvu ya pamoja kama wanawake.
Yes, objective of their group was to show the women power through getting training on farming as a business, different technologies, and the entrepreneurship skills.
Na kikiwa na watu 21. Tulianza watu 50 na mpaka sasa hivi tunapo watu 21.
They started as 50 women members, but now they are 21 active members.
Lakini sababu kubwa ambayo iliwafanya watu kupungua ni kwamba watu wengi tulivyoanzisha kikundi walijua tunapewa ni mikopo labda misaada, lakini kumbe lengo la kikundi ilikuwa ni kwanza tuanze mafunzo. Sasa wengi waliacha baada ya kwanza kuona tunakaa darasani tunajifunza ile miaka miwili, watu ndio walipungua hapo.
From the starting, other members, they thought that they will be maybe getting assistance, but for them, for those who were committed, they wanted to start with the training and understand the context and how they will go about doing their business farming. So other members dropped area from 2010 and 2012.
Baada ya hapo, baada ya kupata mafunzo ndio tulianza utekelezaji mwaka 2013, na tulikuwa kutoa mazao mengi ambayo tunayalima, lakini tukaona kipaumbele tufanye kilimo biashara maharage, pamoja na kusema mengine tunalima kama chakula.
They entered into active implementation of bean production from 2013 after going through different process of analyzing, maybe doing the cost benefit analysis of these different crops. Then they selected beans as and which will be their crop to engage in.
Na kama nilivyosema toka mara ya kwanza kwamba lengo letu tutaka tuonyeshe nguvu ya pamoja kama wanawake, lakini pia kukomesha ule mfumo dume, kwa kuwa nyuma huko tulikuwa tunaonewa sana na wanaume na kunyanyaswa, na ndoa nyingi zilivunjika kwa ajili ya kutuona wanawake ni kama hatuwezi kitu, hatufanyi kitu. Ilikuwa ndio lengo, lakini tangia tumeanza kulima hicho kilimo chetu cha maharage kimetuinua sana kiuchumi, lakini pia na kulinda ndoa zetu, imarisha ndoa tuseme kwa ujumla, na kukomesha ule mfumo dume kwa sasa hivi haupo.
Yes, earlier they started as because in their community they were enumerated by men because men they are dealing with the coffee and maize. Then they selected beans to be empowered and to get rid of being enumerated from their husband. But for nowadays, after increasing their income from beans, they have stabilized their marriage because they have money, they can discuss on what to invest in.
Pamoja na kulima maharage, lakini tuliona kuna changamoto ya mbegu, ndio hii tulishirikiana na
Sorry,
okay, I
can
think
we just have the introduction?
Yes.
Can we just the introduction, have the introduction from the ladies, have their names and their titles, and then we play the video, then we can continue with their Q&A.
Okay. Sema jina lako, wewe ni nani? Na wewe sema jina lako, wewe ni nani? Basi.
Jina langu naitwa Utens Kaanga, ni mwenyekiti wa kikundi.
Jina langu naitwa Andusamile Mbanzi, ni katibu wa kikundi.
All right, so
she's Witness, the chairperson. She's Andusamile, the secretary of the Zinduka group.
Thank you for the introduction. So I'd ask you that you stay on as we play the video, and then during the question and answer, they'll be able to handle those, right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Agnes. So Valerio, please play the video so that we continue. Thank you very much, Berhanu.
Okay, thank you so much, the Luca Women's Group. They gave us a very good insight on their work. I think it's a very good example and a model for most of groups which we are really working with the farmers. It's a very good also documentation. Maybe can we have two comments or queries for the women groups? Anyone who has a query or comments for the Duca women's groups? So I think it's clear, right? Okay. So we move to the next station.
A raise hand from Nyarai and just unmute. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good.
You need to unmute yourself, Nyarai. Perfect.
Yes, I have unmuted my mic. I'm happy for the group. As women, I've realized that they've managed to empower themselves by creating a group and giving each other advice so that they can produce much more than they used to do. I'm happy about that. I'm done.
Okay.
There's another raise hand from Enoch.
Oh.
Hello, can you hear me?
Enoch, okay, good.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Continue, you can continue, Enoch. Yeah.
Okay, if you can hear me. I think I've listened to how the women have made their presentation, how they started with a certain number, but then there was a reduction in that number. Are they still seeing the trend in the reduction, or what are they doing about it? Number two, they have also talked about the men. Are they seeing a change in some of the men now wanting to join their group, maybe as ex-officio members, advisors, because the men more or less control the land? So how do they interact and work with the men? Perhaps that would be better for me to know.
Wanasema hivi kwamba kikundi chetu, naona kuna watu wanataka kutoka au kuna wanaume wanataka kuingia, waambie shaka. Kwa hiyo wanaume wanatamani kuingia. Kwa sasa hivi hakuna wanaotoka. Ila kuna watu wanataka.
Yes, no one is moving out. They've already stabilized themselves, and the men also want to, but they have the constitution that they don't want man that group. Otherwise, they form another group so that they can mentor them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, is there anyone The last one, the last chance. Anyone want to pick? I think we are fine, right?
Yeah, I can confirm there's no other raised hand.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. So we'll move to the next session, which is a very important one with the new innovation and being marketing related issue, which is like e-commerce like stuff, insight and prospects of digitalization of being value chains, the case of partnership between MasterCard and PABRA in Tanzania and Uganda. So this will be, presented by Bernard and Eliud. So I just invite you guys to proceed your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the welcome. Eliud, you should be starting.
Okay, good.
Eliud?
Okay. Thank you very much, the Chair Berano. So we are here with the Bernard Okech, who is from MasterCard. So we are going to jointly make this presentation, but Bernard is going to make the big part of the presentation. So basically, we are going to look at the issue of services that support the smallholder producers. So, so can we go to the first slide, Patricia? Before this one? Next. Okay, Patricia, okay. Maybe I didn't use the latest one I sent. So basically, I'm just going to introduce the framework of these services for producers. And this framework is based on the part of the project work we do and outcomes that we seek to achieve. And one of these outcomes is to ensure that there is increased access to market and advisory services to support more than 350,000 men and women farmers and entrepreneurs through ICT platforms. That is what we started by targeting, and we are systematically moving on that target. And to be able to achieve this target, we work with the partnerships, we build partnerships, and one of these partnerships that we have is with the MasterCard, and there are so many others behind this. For example, the banks in both Tanzania and Uganda. We also have, of course, producer groups, and we have a number of off-takers that we are working with to achieve this. So through this big partnership is what we are trying to ensure that the producers, especially women, youth, and the most rural producers are well included in these services. So I'm going to invite Bernard Okech to give us a view of what it looks like to engage in these services. And thereafter, I'll be able to also share some of the support we provide through research. We conduct some surveys and we provide some of the research to inform and support the interventions. So at this point, welcome, Bernard. Please proceed.
Thank you so much, Eliud. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I hope everyone can hear me clearly.
Yes, Bernard, we can hear you.
Patricia, could you go to the, could you just use the latest deck? I've just forwarded it to you again that Eliud had sent earlier. But
okay.
Yeah, I've just forwarded it to you again, just in case. Yeah, as Patricia does that, let me just continue with my introduction. My name is Bernard Okech. I work for MasterCard and I'm in charge of Tanzania market. And one of the things that we have been doing with PABRA and SEAT in partnership is rolling out of MasterCard Farmer Network, a platform which hosted marketplace platform. And this is a platform which has really seen a lot of farmers being able to access markets, and also most of the farmer producer organizations being able to get paid and be able to, facilitate most of their operations very efficiently. And so our partnership with PABRA and SEAT started all the way in 2018, and we've been partnering since then. We started all the way in Uganda in 2018, and then in 2019 we started with Tanzania. We expanded to Tanzania. So, and SEAT has been very, very critical in helping in last mile implementation and identifying the farmer producer organizations and the buyers that we are working with. And this has been very, very helpful for us. As we all know, MasterCard is a payment technology company. So we are best known for our world-class technology worldwide. And so partnering with organizations like PABRA and SEAT has really been very, very helpful to ensure that our technology is able to reach the most needed targeted individuals and organizations in Uganda and Tanzania. So as we wait for that slide to be hosted, Patricia, is there any? Okay, great. Just go to the next slide, please. And if you can put it on slide presentation mode, please, slideshow mode, so that is clear. Great. So MasterCard Farmer Network helps in, it has 7 major features that farmers and FPOs or producer organizations are able to enjoy. The first one is it's able to profile farmers. It's able to register farmer biographies, the details of farmers, names, age, and all those personal information. It's also able to indicate the location, crop details, and all that. And also, it's secondly, it's able to do yield projection. So farmers are able to record their expected harvest. And also, it's able to do order management, whereby it allows agri-buyers to place orders to FPOs. And fourthly, we're able to do produce collection through that platform. So it allows the field agents to be able to digitally record purchases from farmers as they bring them to their collection centers. Let me just confirm, are you seeing the slide on presentation mode, or is it big enough, or it's?
I think it's okay.
It's on presentation mode.
Are you able to see it clearly?
Yeah, sure. You can
okay,
see.
Great. Okay, great. So the fifth feature that is very critical is digital payment. So it allows agri-buyers and FPOs to digitally pay farmers through their mobile money accounts or through bank accounts. And the sixth feature is that it's able to do agri-input demand aggregation, whereby FPO agents can be able to collect the input request from farmers. And the seventh critical feature is that it's able to give financial institutions data insight for credit management. And this feature helps the financial institutions to be able to decide who to offer any credit facility to. So from 2018 to date, we have managed to reach out to 14 farmer producer organizations in Uganda and Tanzania, and these are statistics up to 19th of April this year. And we have 305,000 farmers that are using MasterCard Farmer Network platform, who have done $9.3 million transactions. So payment have gone to 9.3 million farmers. And SEAT is our main partner in Tanzania and Uganda. Next slide, please. Good. So what are the benefits that our stakeholders are getting through using MFN? So FPOs are able to, improve their operational efficiencies. So they have been able to get more speed, and they have been able to access stronger relationships, and also they have been able to do their work in because the fact that it's digital payments, so they have been able to do their work in a bit of improved speed, and they are able to concentrate on more issues that they need to concentrate in. And for the agri-buyers, it has also improved operational efficiencies in the agri-buyers, because it has reduced drastically the sourcing costs for these agri-buyers. You can imagine, before this, they used to literally go physically, or they have to send their agents to the ground. But now through this platform, they're able to do all this digitally. And of course, it has increased their speed of operation, and it has also created more transparency, because they are able to display, they're able to see what kind of crops they should be buying, what quantities, what prices are available in the market, and that has kind of helped them to be more transparent in the market, both the farmers and also the agri-buyers. And for government, it has created visibility of end-to-end value chain, whereby the government can be able to see the end-to-end chain, and they have been able to see how they've been able to use this to measure, to see how to measure policy, and also that ability to trace the return on investments of donor funds is very critical through this platform, and the government is able to make good use of that. So that's a great benefit for the government. And for international development organizations like CIAT, it has increased transparency, whereby the visibility of end-to-end value chain data can be able to be accessed. And also it has really helped them to be able to create linkages with smallholder farmers, and also with other like-minded organizations that can be able to support these smallholder farmers. Next slide, please. So what are the main key challenges and opportunities that we are seeing? So despite the fact that most governments are encouraging farmers to be organized into groups, or AMCOs as they call them in Tanzania, there seems to be a lot of barriers towards these initiatives, especially on the incomes of farmers. So most of the AMCOs and farmers are still facing lack of reliable markets and fair prices in the marketplace, and untimely crop payment is still being experienced, with most of the FPOs delaying their farmer payments some of them up to 6 months, others even up to 1 year. Inadequate access to credit facilities is still very, very common in most AMCOs and among farmers, and also inability to source quality inputs, especially during planting season and during farm preparation. So those are some of the challenges that are up to date most FPOs are still experiencing. But on the other side of the agri-buyers, most of them are unable to establish a stable supply of quality produce, resulting into price increase. And then some of them are still experiencing limited visibility of expected yield, resulting into poor planning and logistical nightmare. And on the other side, they're still not very able to pre-finance their programs, and also they are not able to pre-finance farmers and AMCOs or FPOs for that matter. But thirdly, there are also challenges with the financial institutions, because the fact that most of the operations at the AMCOS level is very manual, so it takes up to 60 days to be able to confirm or to verify that certain farmers or certain FPOs are creditworthy. So because of the manual operations that are there at AMCOS level, and also no visibility of transactions of smallholder farmers, and this kind of is caused by limited data insight. So untapped heavy cash payment, up to 98% of most agricultural payments are still cash as we speak in both Tanzania and Uganda. And of course, that cost of farmers and AMCOS acquisition is heavily depend on field teams. And most of this is very manual and there is no visibility for these financial institutions. So because of that, because of these challenges, this is why Mastercard Farmer Network is coming in so that we can be able to bridge some of these challenges. But then opportunities that are available, you can see in the two countries, we have 9,650 farmer producer organizations, and we have 19.3 million smallholder farmers, and this number keep on growing. And we have 2.3 billion estimated annual loans that are that are demanded by different AMCOs, and $4.2 billion are kind of annual payments that are done to farmers on an annual basis. And most of these $4.2 billion dollars are basically cash based. Next slide, please. So, because of all that I've talked about, the benefits that we can be able to see, what we've been able to do with SEAT in partnership with Mastercard. So we recommend that more financial institutions that would want to partner with us, with Mastercard and with SEAT, to come out and be able to partner with us to be able to reach out to all these farmers that are still, not digitized. And because I know that many financial institutions are working in partnership with farmer producer organizations or with farmers. And also we are encouraging more agent initiatives, more agent incentive. Most of these FPOs that have not connected to Mastercard needs to come up and be, get incentives for their field agents who can be able to use Mastercard Farmer Network. And also buyer portal, of course, we are working very hard to ensure that it reflects the reality in the field, so that our Mastercard Farmer Network is very, very practical, very user-friendly to most of the users. And also data bundle incentives. Of course, in most villages, it's very hard to get data, especially those who are using smartphones. So data bundles incentives could be bundled up in our operations. And also more FPOs needs to be recruited through SEAT and through other organizations that would be interested to support SEAT in this initiative. And also usage activation, more bins to be collected through FPO so that these transactions can be captured digitally. More women involvement needs to be done because, as we see, you saw 305,000 farmers, only 20% of that figure of that is women, and 80% are male. So agriculture and especially on this digital transaction, most of them are still male dominated. And mobile money agents, we are recommending that some of these agents that we are working with can also be used as mobile money agents by the mobile money companies, so that transactions can continue throughout the year. So that's it for next slide, just to conclude, Patricia. Yeah, so as I conclude, I would say that we are welcoming more partners who will be interested to support this initiative that Mastercard and SEAT are doing. And this will be able to help more farmers to, get access to the market, and also will be able to help all other stakeholders to be able to create value for the farmers. And at the end of the day, the farmers gain, the FPOs gain, the government gains, and all stakeholders involved in agriculture all gain. Thank you so much. I would welcome any question.
Thank you, Bernard and Eliud. Thanks so much. This is a very good experience of ICT platform usage. You have any comments, Eliud?
Eliud is just coming in.
There are some
Okay,
two slides to wind up the presentation.
Okay, please.
Yes. So, Patricia, if you could go to the next slide.
Aliro, could you put up the last slide I shared? Last
This one?
presentation.
No.
The last presentation I shared.
Wait a second.
So as the slide comes up, what I'm going to share at this moment is some insights from surveys that we've done in Uganda and Tanzania. So the survey basically was designed to establish if these FBOs or agents or the SMEs that we are working with are actually willing to pay for these services, because this is not a free service, it's a business support service that somebody has to pay for it. So we sought to conduct a survey to establish if our targeted producers and SMEs are ready to pay or willing to pay for this service. So we conducted a survey in Uganda and Tanzania with about 400 of these FBOs, agents, and the buyers.
Sorry, which page I need to go?
Just go, please, continue. I go on. Okay, over there, one back, up. Go back one slide. Yes, that's good. That's okay. So are these partners, agents, producers willing to pay for digital payment services? So some of the insights that we found from this survey summarized here. So first of all, we sought to establish the importance of these services under MFN among these different actors. Now, the results indicate that generally, most of these actors are willing to pay to reduce transport costs for produce, because that is one benefit of MFN. If one has good logistics, then transport costs can really decline. And also the travel costs. So it reduces the need to move around from one place to another, maybe traveling to the banks, or even handling of cash, or time spent in banks. So many of these actors are willing to pay in order to reduce this kind of costs and time that is spent in these activities. But also they are willing to pay for this service in order to increase the safety of records, the transparency, access to credit institutions, and to be able to collect the produce quicker. I think some of these findings are resonating with what Bernard has just shared. So these are some of the major areas which these actors think are very important in MFN, and they are ready to pay for them. Now, the results also indicate that the willingness to pay in both countries is really determined by the gender or sex of the actor, but also the level of education. So we see more men willing to pay a higher amount, and those more educated also being willing to pay more in both countries. But there are some differences. For example, in Uganda, age is key. So the younger ones are more willing to pay more, but also the much older ones, for example, over 50. So in between, this kind of those not willing to pay higher. But also the number of times one is able to travel to the bank on a regular basis, that is very key. In Tanzania, some differences, we see differences in transport costs. the ability to save transport costs to their regular bank is very key. And also those who are more knowledgeable of MFN are also willing to pay more. So we'll show some of this in a short while. But what we see from this survey is that if we need to scale this MFN, there are some key areas that we need to pay attention to. For example, access to smartphones. Up to 55% of these 400 indicate that to be very key for them to be able to effectively use this service. But there is also knowledge to use smartphone, which we trying to address that through training, and affordability of smartphones, as well as cost of internet. I think the cost of internet has been also mentioned. So these are very key if we really have to get more of these farmers and FPOs adopting this MFN. But we see also potential. There are also some potential what we can call spin-offs of the MFN. Some of these actors see MFN as an avenue to aggregate more produce beyond beans. The MFN has capability to go even up to 5 different commodities, which of course makes much economic sense. So many of these agents see that as an opportunity to really get into other commodities, but they also see stronger linkages with buyers. This MFN is bringing them much closer to the buyers, and they are also able to get more crop production information because MFN has capability to support extension service, extension information sharing. But some of them are seeing the possibility to set up mobile money agency businesses on their own because they handling these payments and they're seeing an opportunity there. But others are also looking forward to establishing bank agencies associated to this MFN. Okay, last slide, please. So in what is shown here, this is just to give you an indication of what is happening in these mobile or digital payments. In the chart, I point to the far top left, that is in Uganda. So how do these actors handle payments? And we can see that most of them, of course, are trying to, they would prefer basically to handle both mobile and bank. I think bank is hidden, but there are those who still prefer part cash, part maybe digital payments, and much smaller numbers are preferring cash only. So that is the case for Uganda. And what we see in the middle there, which is also for Uganda, that shows the different mobile phone companies and the share among the actors. So we see MTN dominating, followed by those who use both MTN and Airtel and so on. Now, if you look to the right, top right, that is how it looks like in Tanzania. I think the preferences are split between both cash and bank, but we have those that strongly indicate that they would prefer only mobile money. So those two are quite strong. Now, if we look at the bottom part, basically on the bottom left, that shows the amount that these different actors are willing to pay to use MFN. And by different components, like for example, age or type of maybe agent or whether one has a smartphone or not. But what we see overall is that the agents are willing to pay much, much higher than everyone else. And these agents, of course, have been very key in the work to expand MFN. And these agents are the ones saying maybe they seeing more opportunities to engage with this MFN for other benefits. So in the middle there, if we convert these dollar amounts into percentages per kilo, in terms of how much per kilogram of that produce they're willing to pay, we see that this ranges from quite a low amount of 0.35%, which is mainly in Tanzania, to a high figure of 1.4% in Uganda, and that is, of course, among the agents. So for each kilogram of produce, those are the kind of percentages they are willing to pay us a fee to use this MFN. So basically, then in summarizing at the bottom there, our survey also shows that there is very high willingness to pay for these digital payments, and this ranges from quite high figures of almost 68% and up to even 80% among the different producers, FBOs, across the two countries. So basically, I think this kind of resource now are providing a feedback back to the interventions. We share this back to MasterCard and our teams in the field, and also these key actors, so that they can have a look at them and see how to improve and strengthen the MFN services. Thank you very much, and looking forward to any comments or questions that you may have, and we are here with Bernard to answer.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think we also had a very long one on ICT part. That actually is a very good part of in this session as well. So, is there anyone who can give us any comments or on these ones? The maximum of 2, because
There's
we don't have time.
Enoch with the raised hand. So Enoch, please unmute yourself.
Okay, I think my hand stayed up, but I also had a comment anyway. Thanks, Eliud, and also thanks, Bernard. Just very quickly, because I know we are running out of time. I like the way that you've laced what Bernard is doing and yourself, and the survey on the willingness to pay. I think this is one of the most important things of checking on the perception of the people. But I wanted to know, you presented the range in terms of the willingness to pay among the various participants, and you presented them in terms of the percentages. Is it possible to know in terms of the absolute values, in terms of the money, just knowing X dollars per kilo? And is this compared to the services being provided significantly commensurate? Because somebody can be just willing to pay, but that willingness to pay is so low that it doesn't really make any significant change, even if they were to pay. That's one. Then number 2, did you try to check between the among the youths, the unemployed and the employed, the dynamics in their willingness to pay for any of these services? Because the aim is to try and bring the youths into agribusiness. So just that, but I'm grateful the way you've worked with the Bernard. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Very good questions, Enoch. Now, the first question, the absolute values per kilogram, we converted this in dollars, and that is what's shown in the bottom left. So we had, of course, in different local currencies, but we standardized on dollar values for comparisons. And this is ranging between around almost $0.04 to about almost almost $8 or $7.9 per kilogram. Or if you could also use the percentages in the center there. So for example, if the price is 2,000 Uganda shillings per kilogram, then you could apply, for example, 0.55% or 1.4%. So those figures, we have those numbers, and they're the ones actually we use to capture the data. On the second question of the youth and the willingness, yes, our results show quite high willingness to use this, especially among the youth. And we are talking about the group up to 35 years. So that group has very high willingness, And actually, many of our the MFN services has a larger number of these kind of youth, both men and women youth. So they have quite high willingness, and they actually engaging in other things, for example, even coordinating the logistics for delivery of this produce. So these ones are coming out very, very strongly, and we see a good opportunity to entrench these kind of digital services, especially among the youth. It provides very good employment opportunities for many of the youth that are educated but probably not having any jobs. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So, is there any final one? We don't allow more than one question now. Only one, if there is any hand raised. I think we don't have. So thank you so much. So I just in this session, which we called it implementation of being corridor concepts, session of this PABRA meeting on the theme of harnessing the power of being research to achieve inclusive economic growth. Is really very good. And now we saw in this session the research, private sector investment, and women's groups, ICT support on being business related issue has been covered in this session, which is so it was also interactive and very good. And I just really acknowledge His Excellency our Minister of Agriculture of Tanzania, and also Director of TARI, and also donors and partners. Before we conclude this session, I wish to give for PABRA Director to give conclusive remark and closing remark for this for today's session. I think this is the last part in the last part of the day. So I think I would like to invite maybe Jesse to close this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brano. Yes, for facilitating these sessions, and other people facilitated them. Mary also. Many thanks to all of you. Many thanks for logistic team. I mean, Patricia, Valerio, and other people who really helped this to happen. Yeah, maybe input on camera as well. Right. Yes. Again, thanks for participant. I mean, they have stayed for really all these 3 hours. We thought it would be 2 hours, but the challenge we had on technology happened to push us for another extra hour. But then really people really stayed up to now. That's very encouraging. Around 68. We were initially at the beginning was 72, but I think that really shows how the interest of people in these topics very important. Thanks again for the government of Tanzania to host us, and really commitment and ownership of the work they are doing, which is very encouraging and very visible. The government commitment is very key for any impact. Also, thanks for presenters and their innovations. I mean, very amazing, good information, good experience. So now really visible that research can transform, can really make change in socio-economic. It's not just research for our papers, but it's really visible. So again, thanks for the donors and the partners who are supporting us in various ways. They really moved, they really give us a very encouraging talks and support, and really moving. We really appreciate really all of them are really very encouraging, and really look forward to continue working with them as well as we move in this partnership. So brief, so we continue tomorrow. We start at 10. Hopefully we'll try to get it, the minister will come, and then also Asareka as well. I think now Enoch issue is sorted, so tomorrow we'll be able also to listen to him. So we meet it tomorrow, and then probably it will be another 2 hours than today, where we went to 3 hours. So otherwise, many thanks. Have a good afternoon. I think for good, good morning for those who are in West Africa. Otherwise, thank you for support and attention. It's really very moving.
We'll have a brief group photo. So everyone, just let's have our cameras on. As we have a quick 1-minute group photo before we leave the meeting. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you. We see you.
Where do we turn on our camera? I don't see any way of
Under
doing
your
that.
microphone.
Yeah, below the microphone. Yeah.
Below the microphone, there is your webcam.
Even me initially,
I don't have.
Oh, there is a
I
green
don't have
button.
one for
Kelly.
some reason.
There is a green button on the top right.
Yeah.
Not in mine. I might be blocked. It might be blocked.
Maybe Patricia, may
sorry.
you ask Valerio to help?
Yes, Valerio, could you assist? Because all participants are now unmuted and all cameras are allowed. Wow, everyone looks nice. Agnes, are you on?
Okay, so which camera doesn't work? The Radegunda and Amarit, right?
Kelly's. Yeah.
I don't have a webcam option anywhere. I just have control of keyboard and mouse, but that's not going to help me because I don't have a webcam option. No.
And then the women
you'll have to leave me out.
Agnes, the women group, the Zinduka.
Yeah, I asked them to activate it. I asked them a webcam request.
Okay.
And to Rose too.
Hapa nimeonekana. Sabura.
Nipo.
Mimi.
Kelly, are you able now? No.
No, I have no webcam option. He and I looked everywhere. There's none. Just the microphone.
How can that be possible? Yeah. Wow. So this is individualized or how is it customized?
Okay, Valerio, you'll guide us.
Yeah, seems the webcam doesn't work. Maybe is okay. Honorate.
Honorate also is not working.
Maybe try to disconnect and reconnect the device if it's an external device. If you don't have the option, maybe the system cannot relevate the webcam.
Did you see me, Patricia?
Yes, Rose, I see you.
Rose is very strong, strongly visible.
But how
Yes,
your
Rose,
camera worked? Your camera worked great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, the director, how are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm waiting here for this far.
Agnes, where was Zinduka colleagues?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I see them. All right, Valerio.